All of the views and opinions expressed here are those of the individual speaking and may not be representative of KONIG American. At times, language may be considered vulgar. Listener discretion is suggested.
You are now listening to the KONIG Behind the Wheel podcast.
All right, we're live. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Wheel Wednesday podcast. I'm Nick from KONIG. With me, as always, Scott from KONIG. Welcome back.
Welcome
Scott?
back. Welcome
How's it
back. Good. Doing good.
Let's do a quick recap. What we got going on.
First, before we get into this, if you wouldn't mind subscribing down there, click that baby.
Thank you, Scott.
You're welcome.
It's been a while since I did this.
Yep.
It's been a whole 7 days since we did a podcast.
Exactly right.
Anyways, quick recap. Last Friday, we ended our wheel giveaway.
That's right.
So, possibility to get a set of wheels.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
closed.
And so we're going to be announcing it sometime. Our plan is by the end of this week to have a video up that announces the winner. It may, just because of the nature of things that are going on this week, we may have to push a few days, and in which case we'll probably announce on Monday.
Right.
But basically what we're talking about here is we're going to put up a video. It's going to be it's going to announce the winner and tell that winner how to get in touch with us and how to verify who they are. You're going to have 24 hours from the time the video goes live to get in touch with us.
Right.
After the 24 hours, that video will go down and another video will go up, providing that we don't get a winner confirmed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
so the winner has 24 hours to contact us in order to claim their wheels.
Right. Now, in that winner video, it will also announce the two people that we're also going to give shirts to. Two other people we're going to give shirts to.
Right.
If those people don't claim their shirts, we're not going to keep going with new videos. That's just going to be the end of it.
Yeah.
Right. So the shirts, there's no, get in touch with us within 24 hours, or else it's over. The wheel giveaway part, you have 24 hours, or else we choose a new winner. And again, the video. So make sure you are subscribed and you hit that stupid notification bell. It is the way to possibly win a set of wheels. And again, not win a set of wheels. It's a way to find out if you won the wheels. That's what I meant. Sorry, I knew I was missing something. I was just trying to remember what the heck it was.
Right.
So that's the deal, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Pieces of content. Hopefully Friday going up. Kickback. I think we're moving to Thursday. So you definitely have something Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from us.
Yep.
At this stage, and that's pretty much the gist of things.
Yeah.
New wheels are out. They're shipping. They've been out and shipping, but we're really shipping now. So if you have gotten a set of wheels, awesome. Thank you. If you haven't, or you're thinking about it or whatever, they're here now. I would say all those hexaforms, countergrams, they are going. So make sure you step in.
Yeah. Also, in updates, last Friday, as well as the giveaway being closed,
right.
We released a new video,
right?
A new Friday video. The topic was buying used wheels.
Right.
4 things to look out for when buying used wheels. I think it was 4. Top things for when buying used wheels.
Right.
So we figured we'd do a podcast on it, just elaborate a little bit,
right.
Have a conversation about buying used wheels,
right.
just to kind of go off of the video that we dropped last week.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's a good conversation. And you gave some tips for that. So what were your top thoughts there?
You good?
What?
What you got going on over there?
Oh, I was looking at something. Sorry.
Very rude.
Our
rude. Viewers.
No, they know. I was probably looking at something you put up there.
Yeah. So I mean, some of the things to look out for when you're buying used wheels is, you want to look for any cosmetic damage. You want to look for any physical damage. Cracks, bends, scratches, things like that. I'm drawing a blank. Oh, you want to make sure that it actually fits your car and actually works for your car. So, making sure it's got the right bolt pattern, making sure that it's a good diameter, it's a good width, there's a whole bunch of things. I definitely recommend checking out the video. Very informational.
Right.
But yeah.
So that's it. Podcast is over. Nick told the whole thing in one sentence, and then we're done.
Let's elaborate on it a little bit. I mean, I actually do have some questions for you about buying used wheels.
Yeah.
In the video, the example that we used was one of our free forms, and it had no tire on it. But usually when you go to buy a used set of wheels, they'll have a tire on it. So is there a different method? Is there more things you should look for?
Well, look, I think that whenever you're going to buy a used set of wheels, one of the important things to do is to make sure that you really examine what you're getting. And it's not uncommon to have somebody purchase a set of wheels, and when they go to have them mounted at their local wheel and tire shop, the guy's like, oh, this wheel's out of round, which means it's probably got a bend in it, or this wheel's got a cracked spoke. I don't know if you saw it, it's right back here, or whatever it may be. So, definitely spend your time looking for any physical damage that's on the wheel, and make sure that you take your time, just inspecting it. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's a used set of wheels that go through abuse, and so check that out. Bends, cracks, fractures, hairline fractures, galling of the lug holes, anything you can possibly see that might indicate some sort of issue. Then you start to get into cosmetic stuff, right? Like the stuff that you're obviously the most concerned about.
And the paint.
Yeah, I mean, like, is the clear coat look good to you? Is there curb rash? Is there, any physical marks on the wheel, scratches, anything like that? Because, again, this would be the most obvious one, because this is going to be the one that you'll be the most attentive to. But look, when you go look at a car, you don't go at night to look at a car. When you buy a set of wheels, make sure that they're in some light. Let's say, make sure you can see what you're looking at, because, when you just buy off of pictures or whatever it is, it's real easy to conceal
anything wrong, any problems with it.
Yeah, so make sure you're happy with the wheels. I would say that once you kind of climb through the cosmetic piece, make sure that you really know what you're buying, right? Nick talked about and touched on the point of authenticity in the video.
Right.
And, there's two ways to take authenticity. One is the way where people are going to interpret it as, well, is this wheel a knockoff or not? Yeah, all right, fine. I understand where that's coming from. My bigger concern, because if you're going to buy a used set of wheels, whether they're genuine or not, that's your own personal thing.
Right.
But when you look for a manufacturer to supply or confirm certain data, it's really important that you do know if the wheel's authentic. And I'll give you an example. If you are looking at a wheel that you say is our wheel because you got it used and it has a center cap and it says KONIG on it,
right,
and you send us the picture and you say, hey, my friend said this was a KONIG crosshairs from years ago, and I already checked and it looks like it's the right center bore for my car and it's the right bolt pattern for my car, but I don't know what the load rating is for my car. Can you tell me what the wheel load rating was? And we say, that's not a KONIG crosshairs. And he said, but that's what my friend said it was. And we say, but it's not.
Yeah.
And so he says to us, but it has a KONIG center cap. So which KONIG wheel is this? And we say, it's not one of our wheels. Somebody must have either gotten one of our logos or put one of our caps in and it happened to fit.
Yeah.
And so forget about the second, like, did you buy a wheel that's not KONIG or not? That's I know that's what authenticity feels like it should mean in this situation, but really what it means is, how can we confirm to you a bolt pattern or load rating to make sure it correctly will work on your vehicle when we don't know what wheel it is?
Yeah, because it's not one of ours.
Right. So now if you can't figure out whose wheel it is, how do you find out what the load rating is? How do you find out what a lot of this information is? And we've done wheel videos, wheel tech videos on how to find offset, how to find backspacing, how to, so you can go do that stuff. There's information out there how to measure PCDs. You can go find that information, or a wheel and tire guy can help you. But if you don't know what brand it is, if you don't know what model it is, it can be very difficult to find out exactly what the specifications on the wheel are. Load ratings, right, stuff like that. So authenticity sometimes means more than you think it does. Also, there comes the point of authenticity the other way, which is you're buying some high-end wheels. You're buying some big dollar stuff. You want to buy some Flowform wheels. You really want this particular company's wheel. And
you're spending a lot of money
right,
in order to buy this wheel.
Find out that it's not that wheel when you're spending the money because
you thought it was that wheel.
Right.
So
that now is a problem. And that has nothing to do with us saying about which brand you should buy or anything like that. That's just it's deceitful of the seller, and sometimes the seller doesn't know. So
yeah,
be cognitive of it. Do your homework. Take some pictures. Ask the manufacturer, hey, is this valid or not? We answer that all day long. Is this really a KONIG wheel? Is this really whatever? Is this really this thing?
Yeah.
Yep. Wait, listen, there's some questions we can't answer for you. How much is this wheel worth used? When everybody's willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
Right?
There are some other things to that too, like sizing, like KONIG wheels, for example. In the back of the wheel, you'll see etched in there is the bolt pattern, the offset, and the specification of the wheel, so the diameter and the width.
Well, yeah, the only thing I'll say about, just to throw the caveat in here before we move on, is that sometimes in the back of our wheels you'll see multiple bolt patterns. And the reason you'll see multiple bolt patterns is because a lot of times for certain testing standards, like let's say VIA or JWL or TUV or some of these other standards, or J2530, some of these standards require certain things, and some of them are that in the back of or in a wheel you have to cast or stamp all the bolt patterns that the wheel was tested for or tested at. So just understand that sometimes
you may see more than one.
The bolt pattern can be a little tricky, so you want to measure it or know what car it came off of, and then there's certain information that is good. Wheels, things like the size is usually good in the back of the wheel, and so is the offset.
Right.
So,
but the point I was trying to make is that, and I've seen this before when purchasing used wheels, is let's say KONIG, for example, makes only certain sizes for those wheels. Like, let's say the Hypergram doesn't come 16-inch. It's got 15, 17, 18, 19, whatever. But then you go online and you see, a 16-inch Hypergram, and they have their own kind of specifications to it. It looks like the wheel. You're thinking, oh, maybe it is the wheel. Our center cap fits, everything. But it's a 16 with a weird offset or whatever, and there's no information etched in the back. Or maybe it's a 15 with no information etched in the back. I've run into situations where it looks like it's the exact same wheel, but the specifications are a little bit different, and the fitment is a little bit different as well.
Right. So then it comes to the question of did we produce a wheel for a private label and do something unique to somebody else, or is that wheel not really one of ours?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Yeah. So that's just something I was thinking of on top of that. I'm trying to think. I did kind of ramble a whole bunch of stuff in the beginning.
Right. So we've gone through size. Listen, remember, specifications and verifying specifications are really important. You want to make sure it's the right size for your car. You want to make sure it's the right offset for your car. You want to make sure the center board is the right size, or at least that you know what size it is so you can get the correct hub-centric ring for it. You want to make sure the lug hole size in the back of the mounting pad is the right size for your vehicle. Case in point, some earlier wheels, they may have only been punched 13 millimeter in the back of the hole, and then you may have a 14 millimeter stud car, right? So keep that in mind.
I feel like a lot of these issues can be solved with test fitting.
That's a good point.
So if you are going to go buy a set of wheels, and there's been a ton of times where I've gone with friends, and they'll just they'll inspect the wheel, but they won't test fit.
Right.
Even one time happened to me. I was like, oh, okay, well, it looks like it'll fit. It was on this car. It's good. That car's the same bolt pattern as me, and then I went to put it on, and then I ran into an issue here and there. So, test fitting is definitely probably one of the best ways to do it.
I mean, listen, you have the car. You know, you bring the car. You say to the person before you go to buy the wheels, hey, listen, you know, I'm going to be coming there. I really would love if you mind if I bring a jack. Would you mind if I just jack on my car real quick, take one of my wheels off, and can we just push one of your wheels on just so I can
test fit it.
Just make sure it clears the brakes and doesn't hit
Fits
the
under the
barrel
body
and fits, you know, and just test fit. And if you are curious about test fitting, I know it seems like an easy thing, but
We actually did a video on
yeah, we have a video on that on our YouTube channel, so go over there and check it out. And it'll tell you how to test fit a vehicle and what you should look for. Making sure that your brakes fit in the wheel, making sure that the wheel is not going to stick out of the car, making sure
spin your wheel, you know, make sure the caliper is not crashing up against it, or either crashing against it and either hitting the spoke because it's protruding out, or on you know, on the barrel of the wheel.
Yep. I'll give you a good example of something that happens when you don't test fit. My buddy had a Dodge pickup truck, and he bought a set of wheels for his Dodge pickup truck. He gets the wheels. The guy said, you know, this is the bolt pattern. He found the bolt pattern. He found the offset. He found everything he needed on the wheel, and he was like, perfect. And he bought the wheels, and he brought them home. He calls me up, and he says, hey, look, I don't know what to do with this wheel because it looks like it's like I feel vibration when I drive on it. Mm-hmm. So he's like, you know, can you take a look at it? All right, no problem. A couple days later, head over to his house, look at the back of the wheel, don't see anything wrong with the wheel, decide I'm going to bolt it back up, push the wheel back onto the car, and I look at it and I'm like, it's not flat to the hub. Like, it won't sit flat to the hub at all.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the thing. Some of the Dodges had like a gnarled, tapered stud at the base, and these wheels were not bored big enough in the back there
for it to fit over.
Right. So what's happening was it was actually getting stuck on the stud. It wasn't sitting in. It couldn't make it to the hub. A test fit before he bought the wheels
would have fixed that.
He would have
prevented that.
Especially when there was no tire on it. He would have seen really easily that just was not making it all the way back.
Yeah.
Doesn't take much time, and I think for the most part, you know, as long as if somebody's upfront with you and honest with you, if they're not looking to fraud you in any way and everything what they have is legit, if you give them the heads up and say, hey, look, I would like the wheels. I plan on buying these wheels. I have the cash for these wheels. Like, I'm not going to show up with half of the money that you put the wheels up for.
Right. Which a lot of people do.
But I like to come and I would like to just take one of my own, I'll bring my own tools. I just want to take one of the wheels off my car when I get there. And I like to push your wheel into the car and just spin it and make sure that it looks good. And it fits well, and if it does, I'll buy them from you. Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
And I think 90% of the time, you're going to get somebody that's going to reply back and say,
yeah,
no problem. It does,
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, if somebody doesn't want you to, and they're being, I've had that's suspicious. It's suspicious if somebody doesn't want to. I mean, I understand if I don't know, maybe it's a brand new wheel, they don't want you scratching it up, whatever, maybe. But even still,
yeah, but test fitting should not be a rough process. You're not bolting it down. You're not putting a tire on it. You're not putting it on the ground.
Actually, well, never mind. The example I just gave kind of is out the window, because if you go to a retailer, they actually will let you test fit. Well, most of them.
Well, if you go to a retailer, they're going to test fit before they mount their tires. They're gonna, if it's a wheel that they don't know fits, they're going to hold it up to a front and rear, because they're going to want to make sure that before they go and mount that thing up, that it does fit your car.
Right. So there you go. If anybody gives you any trouble, any type of argument, whatever, be like, well, look, retailer does it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's possible. Let's see. There's one more thing I was going to say, but now I don't remember, so it doesn't really matter. Anyhow,
I don't know. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, when you, like I said, obviously when it comes to wheels, we'd love for you to buy a brand new one of ours.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that would be cool. But we recognize
if you're on a budget, or you don't have all the cash laid down on a brand new set of wheels, or you can get a good deal with, maybe there's tires mounted onto it, much more affordable. We get it.
So just be smart about what you're doing, and and what you're buying, and understand that, whenever you buy some, all wheels are good, and we've talked about this for endless amounts of time. All wheels have a certain lifespan. It could be from 10 seconds to forever.
Yeah.
And the problem is that lifespan is dependent on how the wheel was used, abused, and affected by its environment, the roads, etc. So,
wait, hold on. I gotta get a frame for this. Wheels are metal. Oh wait.
Right, that's my...
Wheels are metal, not magic.
So if some of you might have been looking for that tip for the giveaway. But anyhow, so, just understand that, like, if they've been used in any capacity, they have gone through use to what is undetermined to use. So do your best to check it out. Make sure you know what you're looking at and you getting what you want, and it's a fair price, right?
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. But, check out Nick's video, and that was on Friday.
Yeah, it was last Friday, along with the last day of the giveaway, which, we just spoke about when the answers. Tired?
Yeah, I am.
I think I managed to not yawn once this whole podcast.
That's true. Every podcast I get like that.
That's okay. Last week's was pretty tiring.
Exhausting.
Had less sleep last week.
But yeah, so just consider all these things. Again, all this whole podcast thing that we do is really just looking out for you guys, and we appreciate everybody that supports us and does, gives us their time and stuff like that. So we figured that this was probably something that we should at least just ramble through. And a lot of this stuff is self-explanatory. We get it. But if there's one thing you even picked out of this thing, or if it helps just a few people that are new to wheels buy a set of wheels that they were going to buy anyway, then we're good with it. Yeah?
Pretty much.
So that's it. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to call it a day here. If you have any other questions, throw them down below. We'll be happy to answer them for you. As always, we go live on Instagram, 3 p.m. Eastern.
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. So come join us. Come hang out with us for a little bit. Bring your questions. Bring your car talk. Right? Got something to talk about. Want to talk about movies? I guess we could do that too.
Yeah, we can do that. We've been doing that a lot lately.
We have been doing that a lot lately. But yeah, so come drop by and say hello, and make sure that you check out the Kickback, which is on Thursday, tomorrow, and hopefully a piece of content's going up on Friday.
Yep.
That's it. So take care of yourself, take care of each other. We will see you next Wednesday, right back here on the Wheel Wednesday podcast. Take care of yourself.